So I'm definitely tired tonight. That's why in the first two videos I just made about paying yourself first, part one and two, I looked really tired, but I'm not ready to go to bed yet. My mind's been working a lot and I've been wanting to talk about some of this stuff for a while. But I always feel like, oh, maybe I'm not the authority on it, so I can't talk about it. But no matter where we are on our journey, we always have something to share, right? Something that might help others or inspire others. And that's all I'm hoping to do. But talking about the pay yourself mantra and paying yourself first, you treating your retirement money or money you're saving back and automating that, treating it like a regular bill, like the utility bill or anything else, like it has to be done. In fact, I have to pay myself first before I pay for anything else. Because if not, then what am I working for? Just to break even, living paycheck to paycheck. I do think there's one thing that might be more important than paying yourself first if you haven't already done this. And I kind of assumed a lot of people have already done this, but I shouldn't have assumed anything. Because I know there's been many times in my life where I haven't had an emergency fund. So I wanted to say that if you don't have an emergency fund, stop everything you're doing right now. Stop everything. Look at what you're spending your money on, pull your bank statements, think about every purchase you make. Do you have anything you can get rid of that you're not using in your house? Um, because for some people, if you're young, I mean, especially if you're like college aged, younger, or even maybe a little older than that, maybe you don't need a lot. Maybe you're renting or living with family, and maybe you're even living at the dorms or something, and a few $100s, $500, $1,000, that could be your emergency fund. Maybe that's all you need. If you're older and you have kids and a mortgage and cars and family and things like that, lots of bills. Like me, I'm in my 40s. I've got probably lots of bills. Your emergency fund needs to be a little bit bigger, but I would say definitely you want to have, work up to a milestone. If you don't have 1,000, stop right now. Find anything you can to do. Go mow lawns. I don't care what it is. Get your $1,000. Once you get there, you move to 3,000 or 5,000. But I think for most people, about anywhere from just a few thousand to 10,000 is probably enough. If you're maybe a high roller, or, you make a lot of money, but you go through a lot of money, maybe you need to have much, much more than that. But I think for most people, a few thousand is, to 10,000 is probably okay at first. I say at first because long term you want more than that, but just starting out, get that $10,000 under your belt. As soon as you get that under your belt, put it in a high yield savings account. I know interest rates have dropped recently, but they're still at what, 3.5 to 4.5% at least. I know they were at 5% or above, a few months ago, but put that money in a high yield savings account and you've got your emergency fund. Now you can start paying yourself first if you're not already doing that. So I probably should have made this video first, but I wanted to go ahead and make it tonight because, if you don't have an emergency fund at all, I think that's important. Now, you might say, I don't need an emergency fund. I'm going to put all my money into my 401k and, my checking account. And I don't need an emergency fund. And I think that's risky, though. I think that's very risky because I had a job change recently, and it's creating a bit of a lifestyle change for me. So I'm having to actually start budgeting a little bit harder than I have been having to the last, couple of years. I was working in the fintech space, and I've taken a local job in my town, and I'm not making as much as I used to, so I'm not saving as much. But I had my air conditioner go out in my house, and then my wife's vehicle broke down the same month that I left my last job. So that hit pretty hard. So the emergency fund really saved me in that situation. So yes, you can use a credit card, and if you're super responsible and you pay it off every month and you get, miles or rewards or whatever it is, then wonderful. But I'm speaking to those people that maybe don't have credit cards. Maybe you have credit cards that are maxed out right now, or you haven't had good luck in the past with them. Get your emergency fund set up, because when your AC goes out, when your car breaks down, a family member gets injured or sick or ill, or you have, God willing, nothing like this, but a family member passes away or something, and you have to pitch a couple $1,000s in for an emergency service. I've heard people having really terrible things happen like that, and my heart goes out to you in those situations. But having a little bit of money set back as an emergency can really help with those things. And then you are going to pay yourself first by automating how much you're saving for your future. There's a lot of great ways to invest that money and, in the stock market. And a lot of them are, not very risky if you're in it for the long haul. If you're in it for 10, 15 years, at least, I think it's a great way to go. I'm going to be making some more videos later. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy that's trying to learn and help others learn some of the stuff I've learned. Anyway, put in the comments if you have anything to add or questions or anything that you want to let everybody know. Thanks and have a great night.